Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Going to be doing a review today for Nia DaCosta's Candyman. And before we start, I just want to put something to bed. We're going to do it. We're going to test the theory. You know, we'll see what happens. So, Candyman. 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 Candyman.
I heard you're looking for Candyman.
Candyman 2021, directed by Nia DaCosta, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Tanea Paris, Nathan Stewart Jarrett and Coleman Domingo. Anthony, a young struggling artist with his girlfriend Brianna, both living in the gentrified estate of Cabrini Green. Looking for inspiration, a chance encounter with a local resident Burke who teaches Anthony about the legend of the Candyman, whom after reciting his name 5 times in the mirror, has Anthony unwittingly summoned a spectral entity hell-bent on revenge, or has the obsession with Cabrini Green and the legend of the Candyman spiraled him into a state of madness? Candyman 2021. Directed by Nia DaCosta, one of my most highly anticipated movies of the last couple of years. The original 1992 horror movie by Bernard Rose is one of my all-time favourite horror films. The book, The Forbidden by Clive Barker, where they got the original source material from, another one of my favourite short stories. Really worth checking it out if you love Candyman. For the whole, I thought they did a pretty good job with this movie. They did a good job with what they had. Nia DaCosta's directing style was great. I thought some of the cinematography, some of the shots of the city, really good, really interesting. I thought some of the kills were done really well. There was like a really cool way that they did it in like reflections in the mirrors and stuff like that. Some pretty inventive sort of camera techniques to show the kills off. It's only a 15 certificate, but it was a pretty gory movie, to be fair. Some actually quite unsettling imagery throughout the movie that stuck in my mind afterwards as well. Like when I was at home, I was like, you know, some of the faces in the movie and that were just creepy, and some of the settings were pretty creepy as well. Some of the negatives of this movie, like I thought it had some seriously big plot holes in this movie, and some of the writing wasn't up to scratch, to be fair. Yahya Abdul-Mateen did a great job as Anthony. Vanessa Williams was great. Tanea Paris was great. The actors all did a pretty good job, to be fair. I had no complaints with them. It was just the story sort of started off really well. It had a short running time, I think about an hour and a half, to be fair. And they spent a long time like fleshing out the characters and trying to build some tension throughout the movie, to then within the last 10 or 15 minutes when they hit the third act, it was almost like they were like, oh shit, we need to like do the final act of this movie and we forgot all about it. So they just sort of flip it on its head. There's a certain character in the movie, like 1 minute it's one person, and the next minute, without any sort of warning, he's totally changed who he is, and he's just completely different. And it threw me off. At one point I was actually like quite confused. I was like, what the hell's going on in this movie? And then I thought the ending was slightly anticlimactic. I do think that with the original one as well. I think it's a great horror movie, but I think that suffers the same thing. It falls flat at the end. It's almost like build up, and then it's like the end, done. You know, I would have preferred sort of a bigger showdown. And it sort of feels like this as well in this one. They've left it, I don't know if it was purposely done, but it's quite an ambiguous ending. Sort of like very abrupt. It gets to the final act and then it's done and over with. And I was sort of like scratching my head. You know, hopefully there will be more. They've sort of left it like there could be more, maybe not. And another sort of spoilery sort of I'm going to talk about now is one of the sort of cameos in this movie. Like if you were expecting like a big cameo, it's not. The payoff wasn't really that great with the cameo. Like he's there, you do get to see him, but I do think they missed a trick. They had so many opportunities to use the voice or to use his imagery throughout the movie. It was just quite a wasted opportunity, to be fair. And like I watched an interview with Tony Todd a couple of years ago, and he was saying something like, you know, I'm in this movie quite a lot. So I was sort of getting excited because to me, Tony Todd is Candyman. They sort of extend the lore in this. I sort of thought of this movie and come up with the idea in my own mind, and it sort of fell true. It's like each person has their own interpretation of like the Candyman and like how it's sort of portrayed to you. And it for the most part, it's done pretty well. There is some sort of continuity problems throughout the movie, which, you know, I'm putting that down to poor writing. The guy who plays, if you like, a Candyman in this is scary. Like, his face and the way he looks is creepy. And the movie's like sort of shrouded with some controversy at the moment about social commentary. It started off quite thick and heavy, and I thought, oh, they're going to go really sort of like crash bang wallop with it. And then it just sort of filtered out, and I just enjoyed the movie for what it was. Some people are finding problems with it. I sort of knew before I went into the movie that it was going to be like sort of heavily laced with social commentary. So I sort of said to myself, right, I'm going to put a filter on it, because I don't personally like politics in my movies. You know, if I want to watch a movie about, you know, black oppression or about social commentary or other things, I will go to those movies and watch those movies. I don't particularly like it in my horror, even though on the other side of the coin, I do think horror is a good platform for controversial subjects. So I can see why it was done. And it, for the whole, it didn't bother me. It didn't take away from this movie for me. I thought the theme of the movie, the tone of the movie, was kept really well in tow with the original one. You could play these movies back to back and they fit really, really nicely together. You know, this version is a really great companion piece to the first movie. It's like how they did in Halloween 2018. It's sort of like forgot about the other sequels, and this is just a direct sequel to that. I wouldn't say it's a spiritual sequel, I'd just say it's a direct sequel to it. There's some other nice cameos throughout the movie as well, and like I said, it's shot fantastically. There is some great shots, and on the whole, I was pretty impressed with it. Like I said, it just didn't quite hit the nail on the head. I would have liked it to have maybe been about 15-20 minutes longer, and them to sort of maybe rethought the ending. You know, it wasn't a bad ending, but it wasn't a great ending. I think had they have nailed down that ending, this film would be a great, great movie. On the whole, in a year full of pretty much letdown movies, there hasn't been that many good movies. Most of the films I've watched this year, I've been like, oh. I think this one is sort of stepped above all them now, and I didn't walk out disappointed. I enjoyed the movie. I want to go and watch it again. I do believe that there is a lot to take in this movie. Like, my friend who I went to was like, did you see this bit? Did you see that bit? And I was like, no, I didn't see that bit. And I was like, did you see this bit? And he was like, no, I didn't see that. So there's loads of different things. I thought one of the best things about the movie was sort of like every time there was a mirror or like a window or anything like that, you were constantly sort of looking to see if you could see him in the reflection of these mirrors. Sometimes he was there, sometimes he wasn't, sometimes something was going on. And that sort of kept it like you were always on edge, you always wanted to see it. And like I said, there were some really unsettling imagery. Like, I was sitting there like, you know, this is quite creepy, to be fair. And when I went home at night, I was like, yeah, I'm actually thinking about this movie. It was pretty thought-provoking. I'd give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll be picking it up when it comes out. So, guys, let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie. Was it a letdown to you? Did you think it was great? You're going to be picking it up? Are you looking forward to going to watch it? Let us know down in the comments below and start some conversation. But thanks very much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you can. That would be great. Thanks very much, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.